what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah?
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, move on to treat, yeah. Keep listening.
Hello and welcome into the Tuesday edition of your show. My name is Gary, and still, as far as we know, this is the only live show 4 to 5, Monday to Friday, on the internet that originates in Saskatoon. Dare we say Saskatchewan? And we're so proud to be able to say that and so grateful to share that monumental awesomeness with you as we go live. No one else wants to go live, and that's the beauty of this program. We make a lot of mistakes, but just like in real life, and that's what makes it so dang special. We also have a camera here, and I don't know if she's in the shadows right now. She's sort of Batmaning a little bit. You want to go up a little more, bud? You want to go up a little more? Okay. Well, we'll see what we can find with the world's most amazing cam. That cam being the Maggie Cam, kicking off every show right here. Look at her, hiding in the shadow. The Maggie Cam for our friends at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Maggie goes on adventures there all the time. There's a bunch of videos up on the social medias where you can check those out. They got new buckle up collars, which are amazing. They have matching leashes to go with those and everything else you need during your shopping experience. They got a breeding dog named Leroy who lives there at the store with Mike and or Rochelle, and he greets you, walks you up to the till. They take care of you. Greatest cleaning station on earth, and they're open after hours and on weekends thanks to their incredible employees, Kirsten, Shar, and Chris. And you can get the cleaning station anytime as well. So if you get into puddle season and the pups get muddy, head on over to Pet Planet on 8th Street, and all of those problems will be solved. Ooh, she really is lurking here. It's kind of cute. Tuesdays, if you look down at that banner right there, new episode of The Viewing Room. Very, very excited, starring LB and the man on the ones and twos today, the Mighty Dragon. Dragon, what movie are we doing today? Ooh, that sounds like a watch risk if you ask me.
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, it is. I remember them talking about it.
Get in your car.
Get in the car. As you can hear, Tuesdays, we do a little show called the All Out of Angst Podcast. It's an audio show that you can find just by Googling the incredible name. And we are down one man yet again this week, so we will be bringing up a replacement for the great Uncle Mike, and to him, all of our love and support and out. He's our sweet, beautiful prince. We do have the other half of the All Out Angst podcast here right now. You've heard his voice. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on Matt from All the Band.
Hello. How's it going?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And with that camera switch, we can introduce our final guest of the All Out Angst podcast. You just heard about the show that he hosts. He is our, I believe, a lead producer. He's also one of our top guys out and about, and he's wearing a sick shirt today. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Dragon. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, that was a good sound, I hope, right?
That's a good sound. I feel like it was a good sound. Hey-o, like
right now it's perfect, but it's like 9 p.m. and I'm walking in an alleyway and I heard that. I don't like,
in general, people lurking in alleys at 9 is
true. It doesn't really matter what you
tough,
say.
Tough move to pull. Tough move to pull off if you're not being shady.
That's true. Thanks for complimenting the shirt. You may have heard of them. They're an indie band.
It's a little band.
Indie band. You got a favorite song?
Don't Stop Me Now, probably.
Don't Stop Dragging Now.
Yeah. Everyone says Bohemian Rhapsody. Like,
dude, the bicycle song.
Yeah.
Bicycle, bicycle.
Yeah, the first two
I
albums
want
are sweet.
to ride my.
Really love Love of My Life. You know that one? Like,
I'm not a big Queen guy. The only Queen songs I know are the ones I played on the radio.
I like the riffs. You know, like again, like the operatic stuff for me sometimes is a little bit much, but yeah, the first two albums are fantastic.
I will say, I have nothing but love for Queen. Yeah. Every song's a banger, which is always important. Dragon, tell us more about Flight Risk. I heard a really good Mark Wahlberg impression here beside me. What's going on with this movie that you guys? Is it up now? Out now?
It is. It's out today on
Okay.
the Spotify's and YouTubes and Apple Musics and wherever you want to find your podcast. Flight Risk. Well, it's a little movie with Mark Wahlberg. He plays a bad guy. Spoiler alert.
Is there a bomb on the plane? There's a
There
bomb on the
isn't a bomb
plane.
There's a fugitive. And so there's like an FBI agent, a fugitive, and she's not FBI. She's whatever. She's like a state official. And then Mark Wahlberg is like the pilot. And then Mark Wahlberg's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you guys because I work with the person you're testifying against. You know, like that kind
One
of
of
stuff.
those.
And were like guns brought onto the plane, or what?
There's
what are
a
the
few guns spot on the plane,
Okay.
right? But it's just a small plane and 3 people, right? So eventually, this like FBI or state marshal, I think she's a marshal, right? She has to like learn how to fly the plane because Mark Wahlberg is indisposed, and we have to figure out what happened to Mark Wahlberg, and yeah. Anyway,
Is it one of those movies too, where like the majority of it is filmed in the plane
yes,
itself?
and I really like that. I really enjoy that. It doesn't cut anywhere else. I don't think they do a lot of phone calls for exposition that are just unnecessary. It's like it's just exposition, but like in all honesty, it takes place 95% on all this plane, right? So it's really I enjoy that aspect of it, but it's just not a great movie. It's just not a great movie.
Imagine how much they saved on locations. Hey, and like going out and finding sets and all that and set dressing. You just got to do one spot and then you're set to record for the whole dang movie.
Yeah, I think above all else, the biggest problem I had is it was so predictable, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, if this is what the studios are pumping out nowadays, one of my buddies had said, and I use this in our episode, but the biggest surprise for us in that whole movie was finding out it was directed by Mel Gibson.
What?
Wow.
It was insane, but I don't know. Would I watch it again? Probably not. This is definitely a movie that if you want to see it because you want some entertainment, go ahead, watch it. But wait for Netflix.
Please
You know
don't
what I mean?
pay.
Just don't pay to see this, man. And
Dang.
yeah, there's so many better things you can watch with your time. But like, I don't know. There was some stuff that was good, but
I kind of with that kind of where you just feel like it's a movie that's just been pumped out. Like me and Aaron,
Sure.
we're pretty big Liam Neeson fans. So like after the Take and trilogy and all that stuff, we're just like we're willing to like it's got Liam, let's go for it. And then we've been duped about 8 times now. We're like, all right, we're not watching new Liam movies unless they're free.
He lost you.
Yeah, and it's tough
fair.
to see when there's like a respected star go down that route. Like Nick Cage kind of went through a bit of that.
Yeah.
Jason Statham. I mean, I really like Nick
What are you
Cage,
still
but
doing here?
I like Nick Cage, but Nick Cage has that reputation now for
Yes.
doing. Jack
Oh, you're
Black is
waiting.
starting to go
Yeah.
down that. Yeah, everyone who used to go to a Jack Black movie was like, "Oh my god, it's a Jack Black movie." Now people are like, "Oh, cool, Jack Black's in it." You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I love Jack Black, but more and more now, there's movies
But
that are like, "Why are we doing this?"
It's obviously hard to turn down the millions of dollars, but you got to think like your future revenues, like your credibility is worth, like you want it where it's like, oh, Jack Black film, it's going to be amazing and funny.
Sure.
I got-
That makes you appreciate really solid actors like Will Ferrell, who's like turns down $40 million to do a sequel to Elf because he doesn't want to. He doesn't need $40 million, but
I got a 6-text review from LB on this one. You ready?
Okay.
I'll just read them out. You don't got to
yeah,
look
yeah,
at
I just
These are in all caps.
Someone
Do-
yelling at us.
Yeah. Do not watch. It was, he says the full F word here. He's that mad. Effing terrible. Never recommend. Never speak of again. Then there's just another text of just an F-bomb. And then the final text is, now I'm amped up.
So what you're saying is we have to start getting him prank gifts.
Flight risk.
Yeah, flight risk.
Flight risk
T-shirts.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
Cardboard cutouts. Okay, we can do this. I feel like that could be something that we could accomplish.
I like those kind of pranks. I don't like roast, but I like
Yeah.
little pranks.
Well, my point that I was trying to make was
Oh, sorry about that.
when you go to a movie like with a big star in it, a lot of times you're expecting it to be
A hit.
solid. It's a hit. Bring the star power. And then sometimes when you go see a Dwayne Johnson movie or a Jason Statham movie, not that they're not like good movies, you kind of understand what you're maybe going into, right? Like
Yeah.
suspension of disbelief and other things. You're going to have fun watching Dwayne Johnson fight off a dinosaur or natural disasters, right? You're not expecting maybe like Oscar-winning 3-hour Oppenheimer biopic, right?
Of course.
And so it's tough to see when actors who you really respect and would be like Academy Award winners start going down that path
Yeah.
where they do 4 movies a year that are not as good as you maybe want them to be, and they're not utilizing skills. It makes it look like it's more about the money than the actual craft, right?
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And again, too, when you start getting just the typecast roles, where it's like, let's just do that. Where I do like that with, like Joe Pesci and like Home Alone. He's putting out Home Alones and like whatever Goodfellas, like these gangster movies and family movies, and
Range. He's got
just
range.
do it all. And I would, Lethal Weapons. But you would think that would be exciting as an artist to be doing different things rather than just going to your go-to.
You don't want to get pigeonholed, bro. Talk about it all the time.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it is a job, right? There's nothing wrong with saying yes to opportunities, right? But I do think there is more and more respect given to actors who aren't doing some of those movies like Flight Risk that come out because they're like, oh, this person is actually like doing one project every 3 years and finding a script that they want to research and does evolve and become that character.
Some people are changing their body type.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Or learning how to box or whatever, things like that.
Yeah. And then there's other people, and they do the 6 movies a year, and one of them makes it to theaters, and they get their $30 million, and nothing changes in their career, right? I mean, maybe they lose some respect, but like, yeah.
I like when, what's his name? Steven Seagal took it to a new level, because they had like Under Siege and all these movies or whatever.
Love Seagal.
But then, so he was a big star, and everyone wanted the action movies. So they would just put his face on like a movie, and like he would not even really be in the movie. Maybe he would be in right at the start, and
It's
wouldn't even be his
exactly
voice.
what you're talking about. That airplane movie with Harrison Ford, I think, or he was billed on the cover as the big bad guy, and then they killed him within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And I was watching this movie with these people. I was in like grade 7 or grade 8, and I was such a huge Seagal fan. Like, that's my dude.
Oh.
And as Steven Seagal fell out of the plane, like, okay, everyone says he's dead. I'm like, no, there's no way he's dead. It's the first 5 minutes. It's a Seagal movie. He can't be dead. I was still expecting this dude to come back to life somehow because he's Seagal.
And my thing is, if your face is on the poster and the front cover, there should be a minimum required amount of time that you're in. That's just.
I agree. I concur with that. I'm just keeping my eye on the dog here. Make sure she doesn't get in that garbage, Aaron, because she likes to. She likes to. I know, but she'll still find some stuff in it. It is a garbage. She'll lick it if no one's watching her. Oh, she's waiting for someone to come back in. Very, very exciting. So, what we learned so far today, you guys, if you're gonna put your face on a movie, be in the damn movie.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I'm really excited for this. So we've made some changes. We got some exciting things going on here, and I hope this all works. So yesterday we were in here, and we were trying to carry over the incredible new contact email and the new website little bumpers that come on. So if you have movies like what we just talked about with people that are on the cover but aren't actually in the movie or anything else, just send us an email.
Oh,
Come on.
Look at you guys.
Come on. Contact
This
at
is awesome.
dufferinave.com.
This is just good.
That is amazing. He's even got a postage stamp. Yeah, row it. I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it over your way. How do I push it? Okay, now hold on. If my information is correct, I should be able. I was getting really good at this during the watch party. Oh, come on. This way. And if it's like this, get out of here.
You can just digitally move stuff.
Get rid of it. Hey, what about our website?
We made it.
Did we check out the website?
Let's check out the website.
We have a website. Royal Anders, he'll be coming in here shortly, hopefully. I haven't talked to him today. I hope he
It's
comes
just
in.
a photo of my house. That'd be crazy.
That's your website. Here we go. Oh, come on.
DufferinAve.com. That's clean.
That's a little big.
Which way do you think
we
it's-
have to shrink the logo? But
What do you mean? Why is that too big? It's
The
perfect.
Dufferin Ave is too big.
Are you really judging
Yeah,
LB's
I'm
work
really
right now?
The
Holy cow.
DufferinAve.com is perfect.
That's
it's
better.
It's a little big though.
The green sign.
Yeah.
I'm upset that you don't like this.
I
Couldn't you
like
just
it.
LB
I'm
worked-
making a constructive criticism.
LB worked really hard on this.
gave a
And LB,
constructive
I love
criticism.
it. I think you did a great job. Don't
gave
listen to
it
Dragon.
Constructive criticism.
Okay, big question now. Where's it going to go? Is it going to fall back down or is it going to push off? Like, should we be pushing it down here?
I'll push it down.
Yeah,
like
push it
all
down
of
if
us.
that's possible.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Hold on, I got to push it now. Here we go. Oh, it's a swipe. Dang it.
I like that. That was smooth. That was so
just
smooth.
Get it out of
I
here.
can think on my toes, I'm a performer.
Although on the TV, your hand was the other way. No, I'm joking.
Shut
I'm-
up.
That's so much better than the old way. We have stuff moving now. It's so fun. This place continues to grow. It's very, very cool. So if you want to get in contact with us, that's how you do it. Follow those prompts. Don't worry about that. That's going to be a Royal Anders. Do not feed her treats, Royal Anders. I hear you, and I know you're going to get her tummy all full again. She had a bowl and a half of food already today.
Bowl and a half.
Bowl and a half. Okay. Speaking of bowls, you guys like segues?
I do like segues and
Where's
bowls.
this going?
There was a Super Bowl the other day.
Oh,
Ooh, I see what's going on there.
that was kind of smooth too.
The worst Super Bowl in the history of mankind.
No.
Not just the game. The halftime show voted the worst in the history of Super Bowl halftime shows. The worst. And the even worse part of the whole thing is even Kendrick Lamar fans that knew the song said it was horrible.
'Cause
We'll get into this. Is she choking already? Did you choke her? Yeah.
You know, it's
Calm down over
interesting.
there.
I was seeing an article today that
Here we go.
Kendrick Lamar's Spotify viewing is up 420% or something like that. Not like us plays on Spotify.
we checked some out the other day.
Interesting. You can get into it. Tell us your thoughts. All right,
So,
take it away, Matt.
Here's my
Let's
thoughts.
get into this.
Aaron had played the. We just checked. We didn't watch the game
I'm gonna get
or
comfy.
anything live,
Ow.
but we checked out the halftime performance just because we wanted to see what all this.
All the talk is about?
And hollering was about.
Okay.
And honestly, okay, I quite enjoyed it for these reasons.
Nice.
The music isn't necessarily like my cup of tea per se, but I like when a performance is bigger than life and grander than life. So like I like the costumes and the look of everything, the fact that there's a dance. I like that they brought in Samuel L. Jackson as part of it. Like
Uncle
that-
Sam. He was
yeah,
Uncle
but
Sam.
That's a pretty cool idea, bringing a movie star into your live performance. Like
Yeah.
I can't really think of too many options or opportunities where that's happened.
Hell yeah.
Okay, and then I was saying with like if Iron Maiden is going on tour or whatever, they're not going to pick a band that is just like Iron Maiden. They're going to pick a band that has a draw, like a Slaughter to the Prevail or like a metalcore band that's going to bring fans that don't
Normally listen to
Maiden.
that.
So like obviously it would be like the clear choice to pick like an Aerosmith or rock or some sort of country, like a Luke Combs or something. Those everyone would be really into that. But I feel like it bringing someone that is going to draw a different fan base, the advertisers, and that's what it's all about. Unfortunately, is the advertisers. And I don't know if this number is right, but it was like 133 million or something that we're watching. That time show, which is pretty good.
It's a couple eyeballs.
But yeah, so the idea that they're bringing someone that isn't the same draw as just your normal football fans, to me, that makes sense. I like that it was a passionate performance that, like is empowering to people. And then ultimately, it's impressive to see someone, spit, at that rate, and you're switching rhythms the whole time and telling stories. And the whole time, I think it could have been over the top. Just because I'm a guitar geek, if there was a sweet guitar solo to help augment one of the songs or whatever, but that's just my personal
Dude,
take.
get that Van Halen cut in there real quick when you're Michael Jackson. Do something
Oh.
tight. Do something tight out there. Dragon, your thoughts.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. We didn't watch the whole Super Bowl performance.
We were doing some
I don't
trivia.
think
We were
it's-
doing some
I
stuff.
don't think it's fair necessarily.
Well, from
I'm
clips
not
you've
a
seen.
Kendrick,
Clips
like
you've seen.
Lamar fan by any means. Like I don't listen to any of his stuff, and I don't particularly know enough about him to be like a fan or anything like that. I like the "They're Not Like Us" song. But yeah, like I don't know much about Kendrick, so I can't really be like a critic or anything like that.
No one's asking you to critique anything. What were you personally feeling when you saw clips from this?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like when we did check out a couple of the songs, like I probably wouldn't listen to it again just because like Honestly, I'm kind of like Michael Bolton from Office Space, where like you start hearing that many N bombs coming all the time, it's just like uncomfortable for me.
Mhm.
And so for that
Like when
reason
these guys reviewed Django,
Um,
there's a lot of apologizing. A lot. Dragon apologized for a total of like 29 minutes, I think, during that. Episode of doing it. It was awesome. I loved it. I loved it. Your thoughts, Dragon. Continue.
Yeah, I'll agree. I think the dance was cool, but I didn't think it didn't feel like as much of a spectacle as it could have been. Like when you think of legendary Super Bowl performances, like I don't think this one's going to go down in history
No,
as
of course
a
not.
great one. I don't think it was bad by any means, but like when you think of Michael Jackson teleporting, right? That's something that oh my God, people still think about that to this day, right? Even Janet Jackson, no.
One of the biggest issues that a lot of people had about this was the whole Kendrick and Drake beef. They had this beef leading into it. And I'm going to try to break it down for you as easily as possible. So Kendrick and Drake, as a lot of the hip hop and rap artists have done over the years, got into a beef. And the idea being with said beefs is, hey, I'm going to come at you, you come at me, and then we make it look like we hate each other, and then everybody listens to our shit. That's the idea behind it. So it's like you're lifting each other up. So instead of actually hating each other, they come together and say, all right, we're going to pretend to hate each other. People think that this beef sort of carried over, got personal, to the point where Kendrick came in to this entire performance, and it was all dedicated to the Drake beef.
Okay, see, that I don't like, because anytime there's like something negative attached to something,
Exactly.
that's
And so when he's out there talking into the camera directly at Drake, using his name and using his diss tracks, like the song selection, like apparently he debuted a brand new song, never been heard before at the Super Bowl. So he went to these specific songs to go at Drake. So it was more of him using the platform to go at a guy than him using the platform to promote himself and all the other stuff that he's sort of all about.
And ultimately, it should be about entertaining the fan base too. Like, you know what I mean? Picking a brand new song seems like a weird play. Even, you know, when we're watching, you know, a Lagwagon or something, they try and debut a new song.
It's like the only song that we didn't really know. Out of like 30 songs at the concert, we're like, this is still pretty good. I can't scream sing this one. Yeah, exactly.
I love that song, but it's not as good as the old stuff.
I want to address what you said there because I think yes and no.
Ooh.
He's using the song. It's a double whammy, okay? When you go to the Super Bowl and you want your entertainment, right? And people know you especially for one song, like one big song especially, like not like us. You're going to want to
never heard that
it.
song before.
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
You want to use it and you want to play it, right?
I know humble.
Yeah.
Bitch, sit down.
And
Be humble.
So throughout the whole time they're teasing it. Like playing the song with like the chords and stuff like that because everyone wants to play that song. It's famous.
Well, I heard that it was like a troll job.
At the where they play the Grammys or whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. It's a big song, so they tease it. People are saying, okay, well he was doing that to tease Drake, and I mean maybe, but if we're being realistic, right? There's certain songs in any performance from a performer that are so massive that you know you're gonna want to see and you know are gonna hear and be headline, right? Like it's like when you go to a Kiss concert. You're going to hear I Was Made for Loving You, right? That might be one of the big, massive songs that everyone is like, oh my God,
Yes.
this is so great.
Yeah.
And so they're going to want to either save that one or open with it, do something crazy, or tease it in a way. I'm just using an example to keep engagement, right? And
you get the most mileage out of your hit.
Right. And so I don't think Kendrick doing songs that mock Drake or try and get Drake's attention is for Drake. I think it's purely because that's the largest group of people right now talking about that, like, certain song, right? So does that make sense, right? It's like if Sabrina Carpenter or someone went and she didn't play Espresso, like her #1 hit right now, or you know what I mean, something like that. You'd be like, well, what the hell happened, right? That's everyone's favorite song right now, or so. What I'm trying to get at is I don't think that was for Drake. I think it was because if that's what's being talked about right now, go with it, use that stuff, and use the stuff that people know because it's going to make a lot more clips if people are singing along to your shit than if everyone's just like, nodding their heads in the audience. But if people know the lyrics and say it back to you, then you get like an actual atmosphere going, right? And so
Playing up to your point right there, a bunch of footage from inside the Caesars Superdome showed the entire crowd not dancing, not singing, not doing anything. They were like uninterested in this performance.
And these are like Kendrick fans.
Well, no, they're
or-
people
or-
that were
or
there for the
just-
Super Bowl.
Okay.
Like people
So
in the
it wa-
stadium to watch
but their
football.
audience, it wasn't hitting.
That's what I'm saying. Inside that studio, it wasn't hitting at all. Now, you're also saying they teased that big song, but they didn't play it, right? Like they put like the instrumental for it out for a bit, and he's like, no,
they
no.
did play
He
it.
did the whole song?
Yeah, they played it.
Apparently he teased a song too and then didn't play it just to be a troll.
Well, I'm not sure because right before he said, he's like, oh yeah, I want to play the song, but I know they're gonna sue. And then all of a sudden he started playing "Not Like Us," which is the song that Drake, I'm pretty sure, said he'd sue if they played at the Super Bowl because
Nice.
it's supposed to be about their beef. But again, if all of Drake's massive fans and all of Kendrick's fans
There's
are,
reach.
are
There's
coming
reach
together,
there. Yeah.
then it makes sense to play those songs, right? It's like any band, and I mean, you would know the most, right? Like if you have a headline song and like in a band or a go-to that you know all your fans want to hear, you're gonna play that at the freaking Super Bowl, right? You don't skip
Absolutely.
past it, right?
You have
So
to. Yeah.
I don't think it was as much as targeting Drake. I think it was utilizing what people know, and for the last year, people know these songs, and so it's been very helpful for Kendrick's career. And I think he just went with it. Not again, I'm not a Kendrick fan. I wasn't like blown away by the performance or anything like that. But like I wasn't the target audience. I get that. So
And that's that's
Well,
the exact same thing for
like-
me. Like I didn't like love the music part of it, but I'm not the target audience. I like musical instruments being played and getting to
Yeah.
see the guitar being played or a piano being played. Where when the beats are pumped in, it's cool, but it's just that's not necessarily for me.
During our Super Bowl watch party, the big damn big watch party. I'm getting the naming wrong, but during that, the greatest dad in the universe, the bottom line was here. Brought us hot peppers. We played a highlight reel of my dad telling everyone to try these hot peppers that he made. Very delicious. And shout out to my man Seahawk over in the hospital. I brought him some today, and he put them on his burger, and said it was just fantastic. So these hot peppers are red hot, not just in spice but flavor. Very well done. And his big thing, and I remember this very clearly, we were in Arizona back, oh man, I'm not sure exactly when, but I can tell you it was the Bruno Mars Super Bowl. I was there for a neck surgery with my mom and dad. The day before the neck surgery, we were watching the Super Bowl. And Bruno Mars played the Super Bowl. My dad looks at me and goes, "Those guys playing real instruments?" Like, yeah. 'Cause he had like his big 12-piece band, the whole performance. Like, this is actually pretty good. Never heard of Bruno Mars before. He was just happy that there was live music being played at the Super Bowl. Sometimes it's as simple as that.
I
Yeah.
liked it. I think it was a Grammy performance that Bruno Mars did, but he was shredding on the guitar,
Yeah.
and I was just like, this is awesome.
Even if you don't like the music, it's cool to watch when people are doing their thing.
Just the old style of just playing actual instruments. It's interesting to watch because it sounds like.
Don't worry
sounds like-
about that. It's just a neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
Making sure we're safe here at the Dufferin Avenue Media Network studios.
But yeah, it's visually exciting to watch someone play an instrument or whatever. It looks cooler than a DJ or it just being
Absolutely.
pumped in.
I'm with you. And another big takeaway from all this, there's been a bunch of breakdowns of the symbolism involved with the performance itself. You notice there was a bunch of like people in white suits and
Yeah.
people in red suits, and they were supposed to like represent the good and evil. And right down the Xbox controller, they had different like those 4 buttons, and they had different spots where they were going. Like there's so many layers to this performance that was sort of a statement on the world and where we're at right now. You can go really deep into that, but I think the point here is it looked, it looked like the way it looked. There was lots of choreography, lots of stuff, but you have to be very, very involved with the performance to get that symbolism they're going for, which sort of makes me wonder, like, why are you trying to do that when most people aren't going to catch it? Like, who's that symbolism for?
But art, it's cool that it's got
It's
a
great,
meaning
right?
to it.
No,
Like,
I'm with
like
ya.
that it's not just for surface
Yeah.
value.
I think people won't respect it as much. First of all, I'd say people maybe especially like there at the Super Bowl just trying to watch the music aren't looking for symbolism or anything either, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're 3 beers deep watching the Chiefs lose, right? like, but
No one's 3 beers deep. They're like 9 or 10.
Yeah, dude, that's halftime, man. They start drinking at 9
you can't
a.m.
afford
Yeah.
3 beers. I couldn't afford
Oh
one.
man,
at the
we're
Super
still
Bowl.
paying off our Metallica beers.
Yeah.
I know $20
For
a beer.
sure, dude.
yeah.
Totally.
Um,
With that symbolism, though, that's the other thing. Sorry to jump in here. Well, you regain your thoughts. We sort of derailed you there. But that's a whole nother element that goes into, if we're going to be doing this, then these are the songs we're going to choose, and this is the message we're going to try to portray. So it's just another layer of that performance and the way they did it. And you're on the biggest stage in the world, so what better place to get your opinions out there?
I'm going to use an example and relate it back to this. When people make awards, right?
Here we go.
People
Like
get
this.
very, not offended, but people do get antsy or don't feel as good if you go up and make an award speech and you start preaching all of your political beliefs and stuff like that and telling people what to do, or, please, please, please donate to my cause, all those things, right? People feel a little bit almost less inclined to agree with you because, like, when you watch someone accept an Oscar and they're like, screw Donald Trump or whatever, right? You're like, oh, well, maybe
A
that
lot
was
of
good,
people
but
say.
was that what was supposed to be happening there? So, what I'm relating that back to is if Kendrick Lamar would have went out there and been like, yeah, F the world, and said all the things that he didn't like for 5 minutes and then started singing, people wouldn't have been as into it, I feel like, and he wouldn't have been invited back.
Unless you agree
But
with all of the stuff he's saying.
Sneak it in.
If you sneak it in a bit, be a little more creative, then the people who are looking for it are going to see it. I mean, whether it was there or not, people who are looking for it are going to try and look for it, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you read a book and try and uncover hidden symbolism that the author didn't intend even.
Yeah.
But when it's something choreographed and planned, then it's like you can see it, right? And so I think that's why you have to kind of slide it in there and kind of like give people a wink and a nudge a bit, because if he went out there and was like, yeah, F the United States, like, what does this world come to? The world's on fire. And then he did not like us, people would be like, okay, cool, yeah, like, preach, man. But, like, you're playing the Super Bowl. We wanted to hear music, not,
Yeah.
like, your political thoughts. That's what Twitter's for.
We're here to get away from the world.
Yeah, like ultimately when I'm watching television, I just want to turn off my brain.
Mhm.
Like that's what I use it for as an escape.
Yeah, that's what I'm like with video games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it makes sense to try and sneak it in rather than say it. People aren't there to listen to what you want to say, and you can have some impact as a celebrity saying what you think is like right and the best case of scenario. But I think people ultimately respect action more than words, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's why I relate it to like saying that at like an award show, like saying your political beliefs, because it's like you're like, okay, but that's really not what this was about. We wanted
Yeah.
to see you win the best actor, not
Yeah.
Oscar, not best mayor of the year award. You
Yeah,
know
and
what I mean?
it's not that entertaining to be preached to. Where like I always like
Sure.
speeches or anything when people are just telling a story. Like when we were on the the set and this happened, or there was this insider prank. Like
Yeah.
that to me is more interesting. Or
Big
thanking
time.
someone that you didn't know would have helped them. To me, that's the stuff I like.
At the end of the day, how I look at it is nowadays with so much news at our fingertips and old forms of media, we're so used to hearing what's going on in the world and stuff that some people are trying to get away from it, first of all. But like these sports events aren't supposed to be about political statements or anything like that. I get having the Grammys like have all the proceeds go to the wildlife retreat.
Yeah.
That's not a political thing. That's like an actual
Helping
like
out your own
help, right?
back, yeah.
But for something like the Super Bowl, it's not about sending a message. It's not about dividing people. Ironically, the whole arena's divided against two teams, but I feel like it's when people are most connected, honestly. It's not about politics or anything like that. It's an escape to watch something that isn't, even though it feels super meaningful, isn't as meaningful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right? Like, you're watching people play a game, and although it feels like life and death, it is a game, right? And so you're trying to get away from that actual heavy-hitting political stuff that affects you every single day, right? So
And the thing with sports and stuff too is it's kind of it's that constant that we all grew up with. A lot of people went to their first game with their dad or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's always been with you, and it just brings these good, pleasant memories and stuff. And so like
100%.
it is kind of when you start bringing in a lot of the political views and stuff into it, it is a little different. You have to separate entertainment. Now we're learning something and doing a political thing. So
And I justify that by saying, like, when the game starts and the national anthem is playing, everyone who's able to is standing. You know what I mean? It's not a fight. It's it's not divisive. Everyone is there in that moment, right? And I think, you know, maybe we're so used to politics being everywhere, but we do have to remind ourselves, like, that's not the place for politics at all, right? That is just a place to have fun and enjoy the game. And I think if you go up there and make it a political thing, people don't respect that as much as just doing your job. And if you throw stuff in along the way, then
Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out a fun way to pull this up. Oh, it comes from over there. Okay. If you have any political or religious views, we would not like to receive them because we don't do that stuff around here. But anything else,
that was what the most
let us
political-
know as we hang out here every single day, even on the weekends. We're around here doing work, and it's a lot of fun. You got anything that needs a push? You got any charitable organizations out here about? You got show ideas, show topics. Maybe you got a new show that you want to start. Just let us know. It's very easy. Contact at dufferinave.com. That's the email. As you can see, you ready? Which way does it go? I think it shoots this way, doesn't it? This way.
Oh, that way. Like up. What? How do you? That way. That way.
Hold on. Oh, there, I got it. Ready? Here we go. Get out of here. Nice. We also have an email and a website. Sorry, we just did the email. Dufferinave.com. Royal Anders, check it out. Check out our new Dufferinave.com on-screen logo. Hey, good feedback. Is he not there? Oh, what's up? Trust me when I tell you, it's awesome. I'm going to get it out of here, though. I don't like that.
Dude, my hair
There we
just
go.
died.
Very exciting. Okay, one more layer to this Super Bowl halftime show. Jay-Z, we have nothing to say about him. He's blah. We had to take him out of all of our stuff. He's a horrible, horrible man. He's in charge of the Super Bowl. So he's the guy that produces, I believe, the last two and then this one as well. So he's the guy that handpicks the acts that are going to do it.
Oh, really? I was not aware of that.
And with that in mind, have you heard of an artist named Lil Wayne? Wheezy.
Okay. Or no, that's Lil Jon.
That's Lil Jon.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
it was T-Pain. There's a lot of guys like that.
No,
Lil Wayne,
Yeah.
he's the blunt blowing,
Yeah, he's got a
polo
grill
draws
and-
showing.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
pretty
dude, he's
bad.
Lil Wayne. He's Wheezy, man. He's
Yeah.
awesome. He's from New Orleans. That's his hometown. One of the biggest hip hop artists on planet Earth, Wheezy. And instead of giving this show to Wheezy because he's from New Orleans, Hova went out and made it personal. It's like, nah, man, we ain't taking that guy. We're taking my guy. We're taking Kendrick. So instead of having the guy from New Orleans do the show in New Orleans for his people, he brings in this other guy who apparently has some beef going on as well with Kendrick. So this was not just a Wheezy, you can't do it. This is Wheezy, you can't do it. We're going to put this guy here. He's going to push you down while he's up there doing it.
How the industry works, my friend.
If it sells, right? I mean,
It shouldn't be that way, though. That will never change if we keep sitting here saying if it sells, it sells.
it's just,
Sick of it, man. You got a guy like Hova who's like one of the worst human beings on planet Earth, and he's the guy throwing gas on all these other fires. Like, get out of here. Go to jail already. You know?
I mean,
Enough's enough.
yeah. The way they want it to be bigger every year, right? And I think
I'm just saying I'm a Wheezy guy. I love Wheezy. My man, go to Sutner Concrete Services. My man Pistol Pete loves Wheezy. He's also a Kendrick guy, though.
I don't know anything about any of the beefs. I don't.
Well, you don't
follow it.
need
Like
to.
I said, I'm not the target.
You don't need
demographic,
to.
and
No one
so
needs to know the beef. The point is that the beef guided this performance. That's the problem.
I think, just realistically, like, if they're trying to make it bigger than last year and bigger than next year, right? The only way they can do that is by taking what's in and new and popular, right? Like,
Mm.
I love the Beach Boys.
Beach Boys at Super Bowl.
But if they played the Super Bowl next year,
I'd watch the hell out of that.
I'd
brother.
watch it. But would it be as big as Kendrick? Like, I
Hell
don't
yeah.
think
Are you
they're-
kidding me? Of course it would.
I don't think nowadays it would.
Bro.
For starters, you don't have all the
Come
original
on.
members.
It doesn't
And-
matter,
and
you
I feel
guys.
like that,
No.
that generation has already kind of moved on.
If you
like-
turn headlines, you're seeing 10 times the amount of Kendrick Lamar. Are the Beach Boys bigger? Sure, but
You're
they're
missing.
not talked about as much. And so, what
Bro,
they're trying to do
they
is
don't have to
who's
be.
in the conversation right now, and they're just not in the conversation.
They don't have to be talked about. The Beach Boys are a presence that has been there since the damn 50s, dude. The Beach Boys have been building a following since before our parents were born, man. The Beach Boys have people that will come out to a Beach Boys performance. They will have people watching it. I am telling you, it would do way better than any current hot hip hop or any other act.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree.
Think of it this way.
Yeah,
No, you guys can both do that. Now I'm going to prove you all wrong. Okay?
We've got him here today. Come on.
Just-
now. Kiss my
Everybody's going surfing. This is why. all of the people that watched this Super Bowl that's supposed to be so big with the hottest act, with all the people that watched it and hated it. Okay, don't you start. All the negative feedback that doesn't exist with the Beach Boys. All the Beach Boys will bring in, and this is why they won't do it, is because it'll bring in the older crowd.
But this is
The Beach Boys have way more fans than any active act on earth right now that would come out of the woodwork to support a Beach Boys list. Like, it would be a giant circle of people that would be watching instead of this little niche that watches for this guy.
Here's
Your
the
reach
thing.
is insane with the Beach
Here's
Boys.
the thing. Who's a Beach Boys fan that isn't already watching? You know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
going
that's-
back to my thing. Where
That's
you
the
want
whole
that-
point.
Yeah.
I think people are watching people who are Beach Boys fans are watching the Super Bowl anyways, right?
Dude,
I-
you're limiting Beach Boys
I
fans.
I feel like if you want to bring more people into the Super Bowl and make it bigger, you put Taylor Swift on or something. More of a demographic that isn't already watching the Super Bowl. That way we can pump the numbers like
Dude.
crazy, right?
You're telling me that Beach Boys fans watch the Super Bowl? Where's the connection there? Why do you say that?
I would say the average Beach Boys fan is older, and
probably
I would.
So that's your only
probably-
excuse is
I
they're
would
old,
say-
so they won't
I
watch?
would say target Beach Boys demographic is American male 60 to 70. That I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's if I had to.
Can you name a Beach Boys song?
Yeah, Surfing USA. I wish they could all be California.
Can you name a
Girls,
Kendrick
Wouldn't
song?
They be
Johnny
nice.
Sloop?
Not like us. I love Beach Boys. I listen to look at my.
So you wouldn't be
playlist.
surprised to see the Beach Boys?
Did you?
You wouldn't be happy?
I would love it. I'm just saying.
Sorry, Matt. I'm
From-
really getting defensive here because he's talking smack.
Objective point. They're just not in the conversation like other current artists right now. It's
Because
like the Beach Boys aren't winning Grammys. They're not being talked about at the award shows. Maybe
All right.
they get legacy
Not
awards.
putting out music.
let me put it this way.
Exactly.
Let me
thank
put it out
you.
this way. Beach Boys come out with a new album being released a week before the Super Bowl next year.
I just don't. There's not enough of the original members. But I
You
just want to
guys,
get
you're
one.
missing.
Okay, one shout out for Beach Boys. So all the bass tracks for the Beach Boys were played by a woman named Carol Kay, and she was like the go-to bass player for a lot. She was like the studio bass player at the
Okay.
time in the '60s or whatever. But
Yep.
it's just interesting that there's like a Carol Kay. You look at it, and she's just got a list of probably 50 different bands like the Beach Boys. Where she played
Yep.
every bass line for, and it's cool that there's like characters like that were just like go-to studio musicians, and you wouldn't think Carol Kay when you're thinking of Beach Boys, but she's
Here's
the one playing the bass.
that's a good shout out, by the way. I like that. Here's the mic drop moment for you guys. If you were to put any act, the biggest act of whatever year it is for the Super Bowl, and you were to put that option out and say, okay, how many fans do you think are for, say this year, Kendrick Lamar? How many fans are out there for the Beach Boys? Who's going to have more?
I think it's hard to say. I mean,
It's not hard to say.
Actually, you know
It's
what?
not hard to say at
I'll
all.
it's
That's the whole
Kendrick
point.
Lamar. And what I mean by that is active fans who talk about Kendrick Lamar.
That's great.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because for the last 2 weeks, all we've been talking about is Kendrick Lamar on every single show, every single day. When's the last time
Not
we had
here.
a conversation about the Beach Boys?
The only reason we're talking about Kendrick Lamar is because he's doing the Super Bowl. If the Beach Boys are doing the Super Bowl, guess who you're talking to for 2
But
weeks
That's
before?
a good point.
But listen,
Like, what do you?
here's the thing: there's
Beach Boys are beefing with the Eagles, bro.
There's beef with Kendrick Lamar and Drake that everyone's talking about. There's nothing crazy going on in the I was gonna say the Eagles with the
Beach Boys?
the Beach Boys.
Gotcha.
I went
I got you.
Eagles and
I
then
got you.
Beatles.
Yeah.
I got
with-
you.
Okay.
You're
Yeah,
doing
the
great.
Beatles.
You're doing great.
It's just I think it would be, and I would rather listen 10 times over would rather listen to Beach Boys and Kendrick Lamar just because I prefer Beach Boys music and I think they're great. But
This isn't about
I
preference,
just think
though.
I think it would be ignorant to say that Beach Boys would sell more Super Bowl tickets than someone like Kendrick Lamar right now.
Well, you don't
or
worry
Luke
about-
Combs or someone like that. Just because right now they're not as popular as those guys. 30 years ago maybe, but right now they're not. Unfortunately, there's still a ton of people who'd love to see.
Who has
the
more
Beach
fans?
Boys.
Who has more fans?
I think it's okay. It's tough to say. I want to say Kendrick Lamar
It's
right
not
now.
tough to say. No, it's
But
not.
here's why I also think that. I think you have to have active fans in order to sell tickets. And I think people
You're-
like Kendrick Lamar and stuff like that have more active fans currently than Beach Boys
They're,
fans.
they're
I think that's
streaming
just
music.
That's
they're-
fine.
Where
they're coming out with new stuff, right?
Sorry, go ahead, man.
Oh, the Beach Boys fans are listening to their cassette tapes that they bought in the 60s or whatever, and it's not like they're not telling anyone about the Beach Boys or talking about it online.
Yep, that's fine. The Super Bowl has no problem selling tickets. It's not about selling tickets. So get that argument right out of here.
Watch time, whatever you want to call it. People active
Viewing.
watching advertising.
Yeah,
133 million you said for the halftime show?
That's just a number I got off the internet, so I don't know if it's
Yeah, I
true.
think
That's
last
okay.
year was 123 million. So
I promise you put the Beach Boys out there, you guys. Oh, yeah, sure. Maybe it might not be the reach you want, aimed at the young crowd that cares about beef going on in the world. You will get every single parent, every single grandparent, and their kids, because those grandparents and parents have pushed the Beach Boys onto their kids. So you're talking generations of fans instead of just, your buddy down the street who loves Kendrick.
Okay, but is there anyone you know that wasn't already watching the Super Bowl this weekend? You know what I mean?
No. What are you saying?
Like, out of all those people, like, my family watched all the Super Bowl, right? Like,
Yeah.
And my mom wasn't like the halftime.
Well, that's the thing. All those people didn't watch the halftime show.
For me,
Hey, friendly debate. Like, I'm not pushing anything. I'm just trying to prove to you guys that if the Beach Boys did a Super Bowl, it'd be a lot bigger than a Kendrick.
I just like when you're breaking boundaries with these big things. So, like, I think it would be more entertaining if you take the Beach Boys, slapped them together with Kendrick Lamar, and he does beats over the Beach Boys and vice versa.
Get two birds stoned at once.
Exactly. I think, exactly.
That was the other big thing about this performance was it was just Kendrick. There was no
Yeah, that
special
was
appearances
one
except for
thing.
Serena sea walking.
Yeah.
You see
Which
that
again
shit?
is kind of inappropriate.
Well,
but
not only that, the again, symbolism is all about symbolism. Serena Williams' sister was murdered.
doing gang dances.
Serena Williams, her sister was unalived, is what you're supposed to say, by a Crip member. So this was supposed to be a bridging of overcoming the issues and finding peace within the chaos.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what that was. But everyone took it as, oh, that's Drake's ex dancing during his diss song. There was another shot at Drake. This is what I mean. They're aiming for these things, and they have different meanings, but all of it's like, what? Just get the Beach Boys. I think that's what we learned. Just get the Beach Boys.
If it's there, people are going to try and search for it, even if it's not there, because it's easier to read into it.
No, for sure.
Right? Whether it was intentional or not, that's something you have to talk to the artist about. You know what I mean?
And they like to leave it open to interpretation. That's the thing.
I don't know. I just think it's pretty crazy to say, I love the Beach Boys.
This is why I'm so upset, because you love them, and you're thinking that it's a crazy thing, that there's so many fans around the world, way more fans of the Beach Boys than will ever exist for Kendrick.
For me, what's losing, it's just that not all the original members are there.
Yeah,
so
that's
I feel
fine.
like it's
Dude.
for me, it's not the same.
If you
They're
get
not-
whatever living members you have with the Beach Boys up on that stage, and they start playing all your favorite hits from the Beach Boys, bro, I promise you, that's going to be the biggest Super Bowl
I bet
show.
you $1,000 it isn't. Look,
And that's fine. We're allowed to have our opinions. I'm telling you that you're wrong. So your opinion is wrong, but you're allowed to have it. And not only that, the numbers alone, like you said it, fans. You need fans of a band to get eyes on the show.
But you need active fans. You need active fans.
You're telling me that the fans of the Beach Boys aren't going to watch a halftime show with the Beach Boys?
I think no matter how big the Beach Boys are, no matter what, when you start replacing members.
Oh, now you're getting
Some-
his bone.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
some of the-
Starting to leak
no,
a little
I-
bit
I-
over
I-
there.
But it's
So-
like some of the magic kind of goes away. You know what I
100%.
mean? Like if
Freddie
okay,
Mercury, when he was replaced,
I'm not saying you guys are
Queen-
wrong.
Queen didn't have the same success. They were still great. People still went to go see them. But you know what I mean?
This is different. The Beach Boys aren't just, like, they transcend the members of the band. The Beach Boys are the lifestyle, man. Driving the cars, going surfing, USA. Like,
they're great tunes. Like I'm.
this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're tunes that we still listen to this day. Dragon literally has them on his phone. They're one of his favorite bands. You are going to have those people show up to watch the Beach Boys at the
And
Super Bowl.
I have all the reasons to be biased and say Beach
This is
Boys
what I'm
bigger
saying,
and
yeah.
better
And I
because
respect
listen to
you
their
standing
stuff.
your ground. Absolutely.
But I just, it would be foolish of me to think that the Beatles or that the Beach Boys, I keep saying
Yeah.
Beatles,
I
would
think
would
that-
sell more. Like it's just.
For me, if you're gonna pick like a random band from that era that like like getting an ABBA or something because
Guys.
like they've still got members and they've turned down over $1 billion to tour, you know,
sure.
because they just don't want to do it. But like if you got a band like ABBA,
I would put
think,
ABBA out there
I
too.
think potentially they could bring more.
I think ABBA would too, just because they have more fans around the world. That's the whole point. We talk about those active fans and the people being out there and watching because they're fans of this. In my mind, if you need eyes on something and it involves fans of the band, there are a lot more people that are fans of a band that's been around since the 50s and 60s than a band that just came out a couple years ago and has this new following.
The Beach Boys fans are nutty, man. I don't mean that because they've been inactive.
It all comes down to like what the advertisers are selling. You know, if we're selling Metamucil, I'm going Beach Boys 100%. You know,
Unless there's some denture ads in the Super Bowl, I don't think the Beach Boys are going to be chart topping anytime soon.
Are you a fan of the Beach Boys?
I love the Beach Boys, and in fact, they're coming in March. I think March 27th, and I actually am going to buy tickets.
Are you a fan of the Beach Boys?
I am a fan.
Are your parents fans of the Beach
Yes.
Boys?
Yes. And my grandparents were.
Are you a fan of Kendrick
They
Lamar?
passed.
Are you a fan of Kendrick? Are you a fan of Kendrick Lamar?
No.
Are you a fan of Kendrick Lamar?
And you want to know if my grandparents or parents are? No, they're not either.
I didn't ask.
I'm
That
telling
was
you.
not the question.
I'm-
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Yeah, objection, Your Honor. I abstain.
You can't handle the truth.
So in closing, we're going to stop this Super Bowl talk. The Beach Boys will pull in way more viewers than any other act because the Beach Boys have a pool of fans that surpasses any other band out there because they've been doing it for so long. And we're talking around the world, too.
To me, it feels like if we brought an Elvis impersonator, and just because they're playing all of Elvis's hits on the stage, and some dude named Randy is doing it.
No, that's what happens in
you
Vegas,
know what?
dude.
The
That's a
magic's just
Vegas
not
thing.
There. The cool music is.
How many members are left?
The-
Let's
I
get
think
rid of
two.
this
Two,
death
I
talk
don't
right
know.
now.
I was thinking one, but I'm not.
I can look it up. I can
Yeah, let's find out because you're right. If it's a cover band, no one wants to see it.
Okay,
That's fair.
let's just bring Bare Naked Ladies. Would you go? Would you want to see them?
We were lovers in a
Would you
dangerous
want to see them with
time.
or without Stephen Page? And are they worth the same?
Dude,
you know.
it's just like Crash Test Dummies. Yeah, if you have a
Two.
voice
Yeah,
that's
Mike Love, Bruce Johnson.
Okay.
yeah, if you have the voice, like the actual frontman of the band, that's a whole different thing because the voice is what carries the emotions and the feelings, right? You're connected to that. So if it's just a cover singer, you are right. That's not the same.
Like I said, it feels very similar if they are down 3 members, like 3 of the original members. It's just that's more than half, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's it's still the Beach Boys, but it's not the same. And I think there's obviously some nostalgia and stuff that would bring people, but I just think it's so clear to me that any band who's currently being talked about and is massive is going to be a bigger hit just because
Not really. Jay-Z made sure that didn't happen this time.
it's just I don't know. Well,
You got guys that are
again,
self-serving
it
in there too. You got to
was bigger than
remember.
last year's Super Bowl. So if we're still trying to make it bigger, would the Beach Boys be a successful halftime show? Absolutely. Would it be as big as Kendrick Lamar this year? No, it wouldn't. It just wouldn't because they're just not in the talks right now. You know what I mean?
I know
And
exactly
the
what you're
younger
saying.
people that are growing up and watching the Super Bowls and becoming players now aren't knowing who the Beach Boys are because they're like, oh, that's
Dude,
more
they
of an
know the
old
Beach.
person
They
band.
all know the Beach Boys.
and it kind of
I will let you say they're an old person band, yes, but everyone knows them. That's my point. If you want an act that people know, get the Beach Boys. Don't get Kendrick. Do you think? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it just goes back to that original thing I said about you want to have that, value added draw for
Yeah.
someone that, where like the Beach Boys, everyone that's into the Beach Boys is already watching the show. Where,
And-
like the future of the NFL, you bring in a Kendrick Lamar fan base. There's going to be some people that maybe don't watch football. Now they're kind of, they watch the game and you're like, oh, I do like this. I could get into it. So
And
they're drawing in fans. to
I
the
totally
NFL.
understand all that. Now, when I tell you,
I'm not joking. I'm joking.
done? No, don't worry. When I tell you that Lil Wayne would have been bigger than Kendrick Lamar. What do you think of that?
Will Lil Wayne be bigger than Kendrick?
No, I'm telling you that he would have. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I don't have.
I
don't know.
personally know more about Lil Wayne.
The point
Well,
is, it
although I
doesn't
got
matter
him-
how big of an act you are. If the guy running it is going to take a guy that's not as big as the other guy, you have no ground to stand on.
Yeah, I think because you're upset about those little behind closed doors.
Well, it just it takes everything that Dragon's been saying the entire time and flushes down the toilet. That's the problem. Because if you're looking for the biggest, most talked about act going on in his hometown and you're not going to give it to him, there must be something else going on.
You got me beat. I mean,
Finally, God, that took
You're the
so
best.
long.
I'm the worst.
No, you're great.
You're good looking. I am not attractive.
It's
Yeah.
just
I don't have anything else to say.
I'm a numbers guy, man. I'm a numbers guy, and if you got bigger
I
numbers,
was too. I thought I was too.
when you have bigger numbers, that's all it is. Clearly, that doesn't matter, or else you would have got
The
Wheezy.
only bigger numbers they have is an age, and I'll say that right now.
I just can't believe you call yourself a Beach Boys fan.
I am. I would love to
That's
see
depressing.
the Beach Boys.
No, you wouldn't, because
But
you don't
as
even want
someone-
them at the
as someone-
Super Bowl. I want to
Listen,
get this up once more.
I
This is
just-
very fun.
It just makes so much sense to me that Kendrick would be bigger right now than the Beach Boys. As someone who's a Beach Boys fan, I just think like setting aside all personal affiliations behind it, just like when I think of the numbers, it just makes sense.
Send Dragon your hate mail to contact@dufferinav.com and let him know why he's wrong.
One more shout out.
Yes.
Me First in the Gimme Gimme's Sloop.
So good.
Sloop John B or whatever. They do
Yeah.
a cover of the Beach Boys.
Hell
and
yeah,
that's,
they do.
that's just fantastic.
Dare I say, the Beach Boys probably have a lot of covers of Beach Boys songs that have been done by numerous artists throughout the decades.
I would think so.
A lot of reach there, a lot of fans. Don't know if they'll watch a Super Bowl, I guess, because they're busy pooping in their grampers, but here we are.
Okay, well let's settle and have Metallica play Beach Boys next year.
It is San Francisco next year, isn't it?
There is, yeah, there is. There's huge talk about Metallica.
That
I
would
want to
be-
see like Green Day
that
or
would
something.
Green
play.
Day would be awesome. Yeah.
It's Metallica. If you
Oh,
don't bring Metallica in their hometown, you're crazy. Real quick, Into Eternity.
Ooh, doggy.
There is a festival in Montreal that you will be attending.
Yes.
This is very exciting.
August 9th and 10th, and it's Frog Storm.
Frog
it's
Storm.
The inaugural, show or whatever, and Into Eternity's headlining it.
Hell
and
yeah.
It's been over a decade since Into Eternity's played in Montreal, so that's exciting. And man,
Huge.
it's like they call it Metal Montreal for a reason. That's where metal is.
So sick out
Yeah.
there. So to Big James and Endas. I've been learning through Uncle Grandma's story time a lot of these like Ontario and Quebec and all these different sort of metal bands from those areas
Yeah.
we've been in touch with and getting to know, and they talk about building the scene there, and such cool dudes over there.
The
So
one
fun.
band that I've again quickly Anonymous, they're a Quebecois band, and they've been around since the late '90s, but they're just fantastic, thrashy Sepultura kind of vibes.
Ooh, I
and
know
just- yeah.
Sepultura.
Another
Very good.
band that has no original members for the band that's called Sepultura, and it's kind of it's a weird.
It's a weird thing. Yep. Yeah, I get that. Okay. Anything else we want to shout out there? Untimely Demise.
Untimely Demise tracked our 5 drum tracks for our new EP this weekend.
Nice.
Brian did that in Moose Jaw, which is awesome.
Hell
Ray
yeah.
Witch has put out our Through Darkness. That's
Tonight.
Yeah,
On
that's-
Rock 102 Hometown Rock with our buddy Ugly
Yeah,
Kid
we
Joel.
talked with Joel
Hell
today,
yeah.
and that was awesome. And then, I'm just kind of getting up to speed with all of the. I was talking to Mike Menza, who's plays in Endless Chaos, and he's going to be playing an Untimely Demise for our June 7th show. And
Very exciting.
things are going, and that's going to be a damn show. So
Hell yeah.
we'll be getting a poster together soon, so I'll probably need to get some logos.
Yeah, and I'd like to get something to put up back here too.
Oh yeah.
So we will figure that out. Dragon, am I okay to run the intro here? Are my levels going to be nice?
Yeah.
I'm about to find out.
I
No,
can
hold
go-
on.
I can go
No,
to-
I got you. Here we go. Perfect. We're playing. No, I got it, buddy. Woo!
All right, man.
Again, we sat here, and are you guys going for it? Don't hurt yourselves. Don't hurt yourselves. We had an incredible debate about halftime shows today. There we go. Look at this. See, this is why people come up here. Watch the TV. TV. You know, we talk to Dragon all the time about spatial awareness. The spatial awareness, Dragon.
I'm feeling a lot of things I haven't felt in a while.
That's all me. That's all me.
Tell me you like the Beach Boys. Tell me you like the Beach Boys. Tell me you like the Beach Boys.
Woo! That was like 9.5. Look at him go. Yeah, we don't have any fun around here at all. To my sweet, sweet dragon, thank you for debating with me and allowing me to win. I appreciate that so much. My man to the left of me, the great Matt from all the band. Thank you, my friend, for always doing your thing. Your beautiful wife, Erin. Thank you. Great to see you as always. Earl Anders in the house. My man. We also had Uncle Brando was streaming on the Twitch stream. It was a lot of fun. Check that out, Dufferin Ave Media on Twitch, as we'll be doing a lot more of that now as we got it happening. We had Dragon in here, hanging out, doing some stuff. Allow that. Say his name when he falls. Have to wake that dragon back up. What's the rule? Don't ever wake a sleeping dragon? Is that true, Dragon? You ever done anything bad when you've been awoken quickly? Okay, so apparently you can wake up a sleeping dragon. Lucky for that guy. Tomorrow, we'll be back with the All the Way Around table. I believe our friend Simon Hyatt is going to come back along with Curtis Anderson. We'll check in with our friend over on the other side of the world, the great Adrian Balarzon. And Coach Mason will be in the house. A lot of fun like we always have around here. As well, we will play another 3-hall video as they have another great weekend of music coming up for you. Have an amazing, fantastic rest of your Tuesday. Remember, karma's very real. Do good things will happen to you just like this place. It's magical. Oh, that's nice.